Hi, and welcome to another Pick a Card general reading. So, today we are asking Spirit, what do you need to release? What do you need to release in terms of what is holding you back? What might be blocking you from your potential? I have a feeling that a lot of us may already know this truth, but it is always helpful to gain more information, more clarity, and obviously any support that we can on our journey. So today, as usual, I have three groups. Actually, before I get into the actual rocks, I just want to do a little bit of a backstory. So recently, I was very grateful to be able to go to the beach, which is something I haven't been doing in a while. My culture is very tied with the water and the ocean, and it was such a grounding experience to do that peak equinox when everyone was getting all wobbly and sort of finding it hard to stay grounded. I happened to be, in my opinion, at the most beautiful place of the world, and I was incredibly grateful for that. I'm getting really tongue twisted now. But anyway, there is a reason for this elaborate story. These three rocks come from that beach and that special day. Peak equinox, when the tide was doing a very weird thing. We couldn't figure out if it was low tide or high tide. I found these three beautiful rocks hidden along the shoreline. So for me, I love crystals, but most of the crystals I use don't come from the place that I'm from. So I love to use elements of nature that are actually from where I'm from and where I live. And I think that that is something very powerful that can help me channel these messages for you guys. So that is a little backstory behind these three beautiful rocks. We start over here with group one. You have the biggest rock today. I never noticed that big dark spot. It's usually a little bit lighter. It looks lighter than the other three. It's sort of got little pink colorations through where the minerals have helped form this rock. So that's your rock, group one. Group two, yours is slightly more orangey in color, where there's more minerals that have managed to get through. And it's a different shape again, a little bit smaller, but just as precious. And group three, you have the smallest rock. That doesn't make it any less precious than the others. Have a good look at this one. And I'll put it back. Feel free to pause the video now if you need more time to figure out which of these three groups you're feeling more drawn to. When you have that inkling, that intuitive gut feeling telling you which group is yours, check the description box below for your timestamps and join me in your reading. Hi group one, and welcome. If you chose this beautiful rock, then this is going to be your reading. So I'll pop that over there for now. Maybe just there. I'm going to start with tarot. I've gotten a few decks lately that excuse me. I don't know where that came from. I've gotten a few decks recently that I would love to try, but I'm going to start with my traditional Stokes Gothic tarot deck. I say traditional because it was one of the first tarot decks I bought for this channel. Today we're asking Spirit, what do you need to release? What is holding you back? What could be blocking you from your potential, from your success? And more importantly, how? What's the advice? So we'll get into that after. I want to figure out what's going on with your situation first. Group one, Spirit, what do they need to release? What do they need to release? Oh, these cards are very sticky today. We have the Sun reversed. Interesting. Group one, Spirit. Hi, group one. Sorry about that. I just had an important call from my mother, so I thought I would take that. So your first card we've got here, as I was saying, is the Sun reversed. So that kind of gives me a very clear message for your reading already, but I do want to get more cards. We have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. And the question we're asking Spirit is, what do you need to release? What do you need to release? Group one, Spirit. What's holding them back? El Diablo, the devil, is joining us in this reading upright. If you're new to tarot or new to my channel, please don't feel disheartened by this card. It is strong Capricorn energy. It's nothing to be afraid of. And I will let you know what I'm picking up on very soon. I just want to get another row from this deck. Actually, Spirit, I changed my mind. Can I get one more card for the top row? I'll clarify with my new tarot deck. I'm really keen to use that. I just wanted one. But there's a whole story in here, apparently. Alright, so we've got the Eight of Pentacles here. I'm going to keep this cluster of cards close. I might put them over there because there's a little story in there that Spirit wants me to address at the end. But at bottom deck energy is the Ten of Cups reversed. Now you have two tens reversed. You have the Sun reversed. You've got the Devil upright, and you've got the Eight of Pentacles. So a very clear message is coming through about feeling pessimistic, hopeless, stuck in a cycle that isn't ending. But I want to clarify these energies. We just had the Three of Swords come out. This is a new deck that I've bought. It's a little mini version of the original deck. All the decks will be linked in the description below. We have the Eight of Cups. This is a very clear message coming through for you guys. Very specific message. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. Oh wow, that's going beneath the Devil. Can I clarify the Eight of Pentacles too, please, Spirit? Thank you. We have the Five of Wands. Wow. You've got a big cluster of cards here. Is there any more that you want to add to that cluster? Any other messages? Just the Son of Swords. Bottom deck energy for you is the Mother of Swords. This is the Queen of Swords reversed. So I'm going to pop these two over here. I want to talk about your bottom deck energy though. We start over here with the Ten of Cups reversed. So group one, what is holding you back is this idea that you won't be happy. It's this idea that your future is not as you could wish for it to be. I hope that isn't too, what's the word, like general, but it's this feeling of like, if I'm honest, there's a bit of hopelessness in this energy. I'm feeling as though your ideas of the future aren't marrying up with what you perceive to be your reality. You're feeling as though the future that you want, you're never going to truly be happy, which is very, very sad. But I can feel that energy so strongly. So if I just jump back over here, I hope this isn't getting confusing for you. I'm trying not to sort of dwell too deep into this, but there is such a heavy feeling of pessimism here, group one. There's a strong feeling of hopelessness, of sadness, of loss as well, but it's not necessarily like one loss. It's just this feeling of being stuck in a cycle. With that Ten of Cups reversed, it's like you're stuck in a cycle of unfulfilled dreams and wishes and happiness and emotions, and no matter how far forward you go, you just seem to get pulled right back to the beginning. It's like you get to your Nine of Cups and you can start to see your wish coming true, and then it's all taken away from you in the final stage and you're having to build it all again. So we started here with the Sun. I've shown this card to you a few times. The Sun is always a positive card, okay? Always, whether it's reversed, whether it's depicted in a dark light like on this deck, it is a positive card. It is the happiest card in the deck, in my opinion. A lot of people don't like to label cards as positive or negative. But the main message behind this card is that your happiness is being tainted by pessimism at the moment. Your pessimism, your perceived, what's the best word for it? Your perceived negativity is limiting your happiness here. It's as though you're looking at your world through grey glasses and everything is foggy, everything is cloudy. And don't get me wrong, I don't think this is 100% of the time. For most of you, you strive to break out of that. The Sun is here to say that you do have a lot of good things around you, and I think that you acknowledge that. I think that you're trying to embrace that. With the Sun here, I think you're striving for clarity. You don't want to be confused. You don't want to feel pessimistic. You don't want to stay in this energy of uncertainty, and it's kind of like fogginess, but it's general pessimism. It's like you get yourself worked up for a happy ending and then it just gets ripped away from you. Now this is being clarified by our Three of Swords reversed. So some of you could have been in a situation where you felt that your needs weren't being met. You felt as though you were being overlooked as a lesser option, or it could have been that you're overthinking a matter of the heart. An emotional issue has really been playing on your mind. An emotional concern has really been negatively impacting your well-being. It's been dragging out and there's been no resolution. You're having to pull these swords from your own heart. It's as though the resolution or the peace that you were striving for in this situation either didn't come, or it's at the point now where you're having to operate on yourself. You're having to remove these swords yourself. You're having to force yourself to try to get through this, but that is the main reason for this pessimism. Something in your past is tainting your perception of your present and your future. And it's leaving you with this sour taste, this bitter taste. And you try, I feel like you do try, group one, to stay positive. You try to be grateful. You try to focus more on your present. But what you need to release is this idea that these cycles won't end. Because we move over here to our Ten of Pentacles, also reverse. This is a completion card. It should indicate completing your pentacles, a legacy, long-term success. However, this card is very stubbornly reversed. It's this perception that you won't achieve everything you set out to achieve. It's this perception that you won't have a family with someone, that you won't have connection, that you won't create a legacy. It's this perception that you are not going to achieve what you wish to achieve. So group one, what you really need to release here is this perception that you're going to be stuck in this cycle forever. Because, and I know I'm saying this to a lot of people who already know this, but I just want to reiterate that even just thinking about this for a second is willing that into existence. You're thinking about the fact that you might not be successful, that you may not have your Ten of Cups or your Ten of Pentacles, even if it's just for 5 minutes before bed. That is allowing that to manifest into your reality. So you really need to try to leave this in your past, to leave this where it hits you. Whether this is an old wound or it's resurfacing right now, process it. Don't suppress it with this Eight of Cups. You're trying to walk away from it, but it keeps coming back. The Eight of Cups is usually indicating walking away from something that no longer serves you, emotionally speaking. But for this card to be reversed, it's a blockage. It keeps coming back. These thoughts, these feelings, these overwhelming negative feelings keep coming back. And I know that at this point we aren't getting very much advice, but I will be dipping into oracle cards to help you to get more clarity and advice on how to move through this. So the situation for you is that you do try with the sun. You try to focus, you try to be present, you try to instigate your moments of joy. But whatever happened to you in the past with this Three of Swords, whatever emotional issue that really impacted your heart space, it just keeps replaying in your head, and it's something that you do think about almost obsessively at times, I want to say, with this Devil card being here. There is a nature of obsession twisted between these cards, and I will talk about the Devil card next. So it isn't a bad card. It indicates Capricorn energy. You or the person that you may be linked to could be a Capricorn. I only say that because with the emotion and the Three of Swords here, there does seem to be an emotional issue that you've been overthinking. This feeling of almost betrayal, this feeling as though you did have a false start. It's become an addiction in many ways with the Devil card here. It's causing you to feel and act out of balance. And again, the Devil card isn't a bad card, so to speak, but it does indicate that there are things in your life that are out of balance. And for the placement of this card, for it to be above our bright Ace of Wands in the reverse, the thing that's out of balance is the false starts that you've experienced in your past. They are tainting your perception of your success for the future. That is what you need to release, this idea that what happened in the past is going to play out again, because it is that idea that is keeping you stuck in your past, that is keeping you stuck where you don't need to be, if I'm honest. This false start in the past isn't a true reflection of what you shall receive in your future. This cycle is going to end, and for the Devil to be here, it is heavily karmic. It is heavily karmic. It is an imbalance that has been draining you, and yet you've become so dependent on it, it's almost hard to imagine living without. But this cycle will end. Now we go over to our Eight of Pentacles over here. Eight of Pentacles talks about working on things. It talks about mastering something, putting a dedicated effort towards a goal. This is above our Five of Wands. So in terms of your situation, it feels like you've been trying to distract yourself with perhaps work or projects or study, or it's this feeling as though you're trying to be proactive and productive with your time. This feeling as though you're having to sort of isolate yourself from other people and from other things because, and I don't normally get that energy with the Eight of Pentacles, it's usually not indicating isolation, but it's being clarified by the Five of Wands, which can indicate a difference of opinions. Feeling as though there are too many fingers in the honeypot, there are too many people in this situation, it's too peoply outside, there's too many arguments to be had, there's too much conflict to be resolved. It's this feeling as though rather than become another voice in this overly populated situation, you're distracting yourself with your work or with your health. For it to be a Pentacles, I would say health, work, or study. It's like you're doing these other things instead of being another problem in this situation. I do want to get into this, actually. I do. I was just trying to figure out where to next for you. I don't want to dwell on this because we're here really for the advice group. It's one thing to point out everything wrong, but it's another thing to actually get advice. Well, how can we work through this? But I do want to address these cards. So in the, I don't even know what these cards are called. It will be linked in the description box below. So in my other tarot deck, our bottom deck energy, clarifying, was the Mother of Swords reverse, the Queen of Swords, and this is all about perception. The Queen of Swords is an incredibly perceptive person, very aware, very analytical, able to walk in and pick up on the energy and read the situation and analyzes the situation and analyzes people. But it's almost to a fault here. It's reversed because it is something that is blocking you. You're over-analyzing this. You're over... and it's to the point where, and I did see the High Priestess here, it's to the point where your logic is exceeding your intuition. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's good to be logical at times, but it's in a way that you're overthinking to the point where there is no room for the situation to unfold naturally. You've already thought of everything. You haven't allowed the beauty of, what's that word, serendipity to take hold here. And I feel that that is where you're being guided to be. You're being guided to be serendipitous, to embrace the fact that these things happen as they happen. We can't control them, we can't mold them. Sometimes it leads to pain, but more than often it's happening because there is something better out there for you. There is a better situation out there for you. We have the Emperor here as well, which I feel called to share. It's followed by another Four card, the Four of Pentacles. It's this feeling as though you're feeling out of control, and it's manifesting in a way that you might be angry, you might be frustrated, you might feel as though you're not as stable as you wish you could be. You're not meeting your expectations. You're not meeting the expectations of others. You're finding yourself in a very unstable way, and it's scary because you like to have certain things in control, and the control that you perceive to have, or the outcome that you thought you were going to have, isn't coming, in your opinion. Now, I want to dip into this. There's a little message here. So I asked Spirit, what is blocking you? What is the situation? It's linked to some sort of denial about an intuitive fact or piece of information that you became aware of. Information came your way intuitively. It was either through a secondary source, it could have been through a tarot reading, it could have been through a dream, it could have been a strong feeling that you had, or you heard something over the radio and you thought that message was meant for me. Some sort of intuitive message came to you, but it didn't manifest in the way that you expected it to. It appeared so true, and yet it didn't come true. And this led to you feeling completely out of balance. It led to you questioning your strength, questioning your ability to know these things. It led to you questioning your intuition. With the Temperance card reversed here, your energy became incredibly volatile towards you. That's when you began to lose that control. You started to feel as though the hope that you had is no longer going to, is no longer there, for lack of a better word. But Temperance reversed is kind of telling me that these energies collided in a very volatile, almost confronting way. It feels as though you just had an outburst one day when everything just kind of hit you. Perhaps you were crying out of nowhere, or you just felt really angry out of nowhere, or some sort of shocking information came to you out of nowhere, and it left you feeling very ungrounded. Your energy is still struggling to balance. You're still feeling pulled towards these uncontrollable emotions. This isn't a bad thing, okay? Reversals aren't bad. That's why we have them. That's the fact of life. Nothing is perfect. It's another way of describing our situations. And these cards indicate that the possibility to be grounded is there. It's just going to take time of processing where you're at the moment. But I strongly feel with that Temperance card that it was almost like a siren's call. The truth came out and it completely ungrounded you, and you felt as though everything that you had been wishing for just set you back to square one. And that's when these false starts really took a toll on you. That's when this Three of Swords situation really started paining you again, because I do feel like this is a cycle that repeats. We have the King of Wands. There was a strong desire to be successful. There was a determination to be successful. There was an attraction towards this opportunity. There was chemistry, perhaps. There was passion. There was fire. Everything seemed to be aligning in the way that it was almost, well, how could this possibly go wrong? Now, the Magician card is here because it wasn't just a smoke and mirrors trick. It was your energy that was creating this opportunity. And the moment you started doubting yourself was the moment that this opportunity became a cheap trick. It could have, would have, should have been a lot more. But unfortunately, now it's almost your perception of a cheap trick. It's something that never fully, and I say that because we have the Magician beneath the High Priestess. The Magician to me is powerful, but they are smoke and mirrors. It's this energy of fake it till you make it. Use all the smoke, use the fantastical tricks to wow them until you feel that confidence, until you actually feel that power. But the High Priestess is someone who doesn't need to use those tricks, who doesn't need to use the smoke and mirrors. They simply know that they are powerful, and that is the card that is reversed. Your confidence is something that is holding you back. You feel very not confident, if I can. I'm trying to think of a better way to word that. You feel very stuck in this situation. And now we have the Eight of Swords. So I really need to remind you that you are able to free yourself. This card is indicating that you aren't as stuck as you think you are. The situation will progress. The situation will heal itself, but you have to believe that. You have to believe that. Doesn't matter what the hell the universe does for you. If you don't believe that it's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. The Moon reversed, let that emotion out. If it isn't serving you, let it out. Experience it, feel it, cry, scream, get angry. Allow yourself to purge that energy, because it is time to face the truth. There were a lot of illusions around this hope. There were a lot of mysteries. There were a lot of secrets. But the truth is, you do need to release this energy because it isn't serving you, it isn't helping you. Otherwise, the cycle will just continue. We have a lot of eights here, which just makes me think of that infinity symbol, you know? And the devil is peering through here to remind us that this is a karmic cycle. It can end and it will end, but we have to will it to end. We have to believe that it will end. Now, I'm done describing the heaviness. I want to get advice for you. Group 1 spirit, can we get some advice for them? How can they release this? How can they let go of this pessimism, this perception of failure before they've even started? How can they break this cycle of false starts? Group 1 spirit, we have answers. Listen, that's helpful and all, but we've come here for the answers. How can they break this cycle? Spirit, group 1, how can they break this cycle? I just saw empowerment. We'll see if it comes out again. How can they break this cycle? Group 1, spirit, how can they break this cycle? All right, I want to show you these two cards. We have inspiration, and I'm not reading these reversed. And we have freedom, which is quite beautiful. This is really making me think of the Eight of Swords, of perception. This is all a perception. Spirit is indicating that you should be following your creative passions right now. Not only is that going to make you happier, but it is also going to help you release this energy. With inspiration being in the middle here, it really just feels like the Ace of Wands. The imagery is so similar, group 1. The imagery is so similar. Your inspiration is your key to freedom here. That is the answer. The answer is the feelings that you have towards products. Why did I say products? I meant to say projects. The feelings that you have towards music, towards projects, towards ideas about your future and what you could be doing, what you should be doing, what you can do right now, whether it's even just drawing or writing or getting things out of your head in a creative way. They're happening to you for a reason. These ideas are coming to you for a reason. Spirit really wants you to focus on your creative passions, because that is going to be something that will help you change your perception. It's going to help you purge this negative energy, excuse me, and it's also going to help you embrace your creativity. You're going to gain inspiration from this situation. That is how you break this feeling of false starts. When this Ace of Wands moment happens, make sure you are using it completely for yourself. And I say when it happens because that is what seems to happen. You become creatively inspired and then it fuses into passion for something else. And suddenly this situation becomes about something else, someone else. And instead of using that passion for your own success, for your own happiness, it becomes about someone else. And I hope I'm making sense. I feel like I'm really channeling to the point where some of the words aren't grammatically correct, but the idea is that when this creative moment happens, when again, rather than allowing that to become about someone else, someone else's needs, finding someone else, being with someone else, doing this for someone else, take it, hold it, the way that this man is holding it against his chest, and allow it to be your answer for freedom. Allow it to be your opportunity to express yourself, to let these heavy illusions go, to let these secrets out, to destroy the mystery, to completely liberate yourself. You seem to be really second-guessing how creative you are and how passionate you are and how much you have to give. Look at the fire in this person's belly. There is so much potential there, and you really need to be following that fire, following your passion, allowing yourself to be the hero of this story. Bottom deck energy is prosperity. That is your key to success, group 1. Follow your passion. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it sometimes is as simple as that. Your answer is inspiration. That is how you will free yourself. When you have these ideas, when you have these creative flares, harness them, harbor them, express yourself through them. It might be simple. It could just be, I just want to doodle. I just want to draw while I watch TV. Do it. It's going to help you heal. It's going to help you purge. It might just be lines. It might just be dots. It might just be nonsensical symbols. That's fine. It's allowing you to express yourself in a healthy way so that you're not carrying these heavy feelings with you. The main thing that is holding you back that you need to release is your perception of failure, your pessimism, your idea that you won't be successful. But in order to do that, you have to process the negativity. It has to heal. It has to come out naturally. And for you, some people, they just go out in nature, they take a swim, they sit on the earth, and they breathe deeply for 30 seconds. They're grounded. They're able to release. But for you, it's about creativity. It's about expression. It's about harnessing that passion in a positive way. Otherwise, it manifests through anger. It manifests through frustration, through bitterness, through jealousy.
And that is when it really taints your life, if I'm honest. It really holds you back. So we have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. This is a pivotal moment. This Ace of Wands situation, it's about faking it until you make it, in the sense that confidence is going to be your biggest ally here. Use your smoke and mirrors to convince yourself that you are powerful, that you do have this, that you can change your perception, and live that idea out with conviction. Once you cross that threshold, it is going to be a lot easier. But the path there is tricky. I mean, look at this imagery. There are so many snakes in this that you don't see initially, and then all of a sudden there's a million of them hiding in the shadows. That initial stage is going to be the trickiest. You're going to have to overcome a lot of negativity, and sadly, we can be our biggest enemy as well as our biggest ally. That little voice in our head can tear us down, but we shouldn't let it hold us back. We should be our main cheerleader, our biggest ally, our main source of inspiration, the one with the key to set us free. But it feels like, unfortunately, right now, at the time that you're viewing this video, you seem to be on the other side of the fence with the snakes. It's going to be tricky, but once you stick to it, once you really commit yourself to this idea that you deserve happiness, that you are a creative being, that you need to express yourself healthily so that you don't keep sabotaging your success, once you live that with conviction, it is going to be a lot easier, but you have to cross that threshold first, and that is where the fear lies, because it's painful. You're having to relive this cycle again. Is it going to be successful this time? Yes, because you're going to believe it will, and it's your belief that drives your prosperity here. Group 1 spirit, what's the advice for them? How can they release this? Give them advice on how they can release this pessimism. Yes. I hardly ever see this card, Group 1. That's your advice. Just say yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Sometimes, you know what happens? We say yes to everyone else. When it's time for ourselves, we say no. No, I shouldn't have that chocolate. No, I shouldn't go to that movie. I need to save money. No, I shouldn't really do that. No, I shouldn't do that. And then when someone else asks us to do something, yes, I can do that. All right, sure. Yes, yes, yes. It's time to flip that. It's time to turn the mirror towards us. How can we help ourselves? Just say yes. Just say yes. It's about perception here, Group 1, and it isn't easy. I know that I'm saying all of this, but it's when it comes to brass tacks, it's going to be tricky. You got to really try to focus on your own happiness here, in the sense that nobody else is going to give you this happiness if you can't live with it yourself, if you can't will it for yourself. You have to want this for yourself, Group 1. And on those tricky days, those tricky moments when you're having to navigate all these pythons and snakes in general, just say yes. Yes, I deserve happiness. Why am I doing this? It's so exhausting. Because yes, I deserve happiness. Because yes, I'm a being of love and light, and I deserve to experience love and light. Just say yes. Now we have 2 more cards here in this deck. We have Break the Chain, Ancestral Patterns, Healing, Rewriting the Future. That is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to tell ourselves that these harmful cycles will end, that this karmic cycle will end, that this pain and suffering will end, that this confusion and doubt will end. We are trying to break the chain. That is part of, unfortunately, I only say unfortunately because this experience, this cycle, is a part of your experience for this lifetime. It's something that you decided to experience in order to gain wisdom, in order to progress, to level up, to awaken, to ascend. You're breaking a pattern that limited you in a previous life, or that may have limited your ancestry in a previous life. You're breaking this chain because you can, because you have choices now, because you have freedom now, because you have the ability to express yourself now. You always had the answers, but this expression, this freedom, wasn't always historically or ancestrally able or given. It wasn't always a right. Now it is your right. You can break this chain of negativity, of doubt. You can have your 10 of Cups. You can have your 10 of Pentacles. You are able to have this. Now, we also have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So just please know that you are always protected. You are always guided. If this becomes too heavy of a task, call on your angels for support. They're always there, but they don't know how to help us until we tell them we need help, until we tell them what our problems are, until we tell them that the burdens we are carrying are too much, until we ask for help. They won't know how to help us. So we've got to tell them that we need help, that we are struggling. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, kind of just tells me that you yourself could have a grandparent or an ancestor in general, a family member who is there to help you through this, who is guiding you through this. It doesn't have to be something that you go through alone, Group 1. You can have support through this. You do have support through this. Call on your angels for support. And bottom deck energy is you're already doing it. Wasn't that the thing that I said at the beginning with the sun? You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. You're already doing it. Yes, you have your down days. You're entitled to them. Imagine if we were just 100% love and light all the time. That would be so exhausting. Hell no. But when you have your down days, it is important that you process them, that you allow those feelings to come and go. That is the important part. Because the minute you say, oh, no, I'm not allowed to feel this, is the minute that you suppress them. Instead of releasing those feelings, they stay pushed down inside your soul. And they continue to build and build and build until the baggage breaks you, until you feel caged by those emotions, until they manifest negatively through bitterness, spitefulness, jealousy, anger, frustration, anxiety. It is important that you allow yourself to have these days where you feel down so that you can feel them and release them, release that feeling. But in terms of all of this advice, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north, Group 1. So that's what I'm going to call your reading, Group 1. It's a little bit of a lengthy one because I shuffled everything on camera. If you lasted this long, thank you so much. Appreciate your support. As always, I'm going to summarize with something I've been saying a lot lately. You're the expert in your life, Group 1. This is a general reading. Take what resonates. Don't let the rest take from you. And I hope to see you in another video. Bye! Hi Group 2 and welcome. If you chose this beautiful beach stone, then this is going to be your reading. So today Group 2, we're asking Spirit, what do you need to release? What is holding you back? What might be limiting you from your success? And how can you release it, more importantly? So I'm going to get a little bit of backstory. I'll put your rock over there for now. I want to know what's going on. What's the situation? I'm going to start with tarot and then we'll get into the oracle cards for advice. So Group 2 Spirit, what do they need to release? What's their situation? What does Group 2 need to release? We have Judgment. Wow, that's a lot, Group 2. You've been carrying the world on your shoulders. You've been carrying judgment on your shoulders. We have the 9 of Cups. Interesting. What's their situation? What do they need to release? We have the 9 of Wands now. Okay, I'm going to get one more from this deck, and then I want to use a new tarot deck that I got recently. And we have the Hierophant. This is heavy energy. You guys have been carrying a lot. Bottom deck energy is Justice. Holy heck. Group 2. What in the world? Group 2 Spirit. Can I clarify Judgment? Why is Judgment in this reading? Why is Judgment in this reading? What do they need to release? We have the Ace of Wands. This is upright for you, though. Interesting. It was in Group 1's reading as well, but reversed. Group 2 Spirit, what do they need to release? What does Group 2 need to release? I want to take this for you. There's a lot coming out, though. I don't know if you're supposed to have all of this. This is really big energy, really big energy. We have the Death, Temperance, and the Star reversed. Very big energies. And then we have the Seven of Swords. So listen, there is a lot going on for you. And it's kind of happening for you. but you're trying to take control of it. You're trying to make it happen. You're trying to control how and when and why and with who. Like, it means a lot to you with these cards. You're not giving up. You're so persistent. You want this. This is your wish. This is what you want, but you're trying to control it. And Spirit's indicating that it's not for you to control it. You've just got to release it. You've got to let it go. The Hanged Man. You've got to let it go here. It's out of your control. You need to release control over this situation. Group 2, Spirit. Why is the Nine of Wands in this reading? We have Justice again, reverse this time. That's why we have the 9. You're not giving up. There's an imbalance here. You're not going to settle for it. We have the Moon clarifying the Hierophant. Reversed again. Bottom deck energy is the 3 of Cups reversed. Yeah. You want justice. You're not happy. Your situation is not where you want it to be in your future, and you're willing it to happen. You're telling you. I feel like you're calling out your guides. You're like, you told me this. This is the truth. So why isn't it happening? You've come into some sort of awakening moment with this Judgment card. The truth has been revealed. You've had an epiphany moment. You've received very strong guidance, a very strong awareness, and you want this to happen so badly. You're here with your Ace of Wands, like, okay, I'm here. Where's my blessings? Like, and your guides are like, oh my God. Yes, you can be happy. Like, I know this is your wish and you deserve it, but chill. Just hold back for a second. Like, this is actually something that we need to do for you. Like, you can't possibly pull this off by yourself. Your guides are trying to tell you to relax. Your guides are saying you need to relax. You need to release the timing of this, because unfortunately that is out of your control. But you're so determined with this Nine of Wands. You're like, I'm not giving up. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. And you're out here fighting. You're out here persevering. You're exhausting yourself and you're exhausting your guides because of your determination. But it's admirable. You recognize that there is an imbalance in your life. You recognize that justice has not been served. Okay, the judgment has been delivered, but where's the justice? It's one thing to say, hey, guess what? We're going to give you this because you've been doing so well. Okay, but where is it? Like, pull it through already. I've been waiting. I've been ready. And for you, it's literally about patience, if I'm honest. It's literally about patience, Group 2. Your guides are saying that they want to give this to you. They want you to have it. You will have it. But the challenge is, it's a little out of your hands right now. And that is what you need to release. The Hierophant talks about conforming. That's the main thing that's coming into my head. It can talk about systems, traditions, commitments, responsibility at times, wisdom, experience, gaining knowledge, seeking advice. But for you, it's the conforming. They're asking you to really just be patient right now, to really trust that you will have what you deserve. But it is going to need to happen outside of your control, in the shadows, in the background. Doesn't mean you won't pick up on it. Your intuition is incredibly strong, Group 2. Your guides can tell that you're picking up on this. You're channeling it when you shouldn't be. And I don't mean that you shouldn't be. It's more so that the fact that you're channeling it means that you're taking it on as a burden. And it's becoming a burden now. It is becoming something that you were never intended to have responsibility for. What you need to release is the control over this situation. You are incredibly productive, determined, proactive. You want this. You want to be happy. You want your Nine of Cups. You know that you've been wronged here. Somebody wasn't showing up for you with this Three of Cups reversed. You don't want this anymore. You know? You're so serious about this. Whereas your guides are almost telling you, you should be having more fun. Like, this isn't your burden to bear. This isn't your responsibility. We want you to have fun. We want you to be present. We want you to stay happy and focused on just being happy right now. In terms of your future, they've got your back, they're saying. It's going to take time because of the variables in this situation. It has something to do with perhaps a Pentacles person. This is the Father of Pentacles. They are in the process of awakening. They are in the process of figuring this out for themselves. What you should be focusing on is your own happiness and creating moments of joy in your present, because this has become too serious for you. It has become a crusade of justice and balance, and you're just craving what you are owed. And it's true, you are owed in this situation. We do need balance to be restored here, but there are so many factors, there are so many things, there are so many wheels ticking behind the scenes that it all has to align in divine timing. And I say divine because I'm not saying that, oh, we can't possibly know. I'm not saying it because I can't predict it. I'm saying it because there are so many divinely orchestrated sequences here that my human mind can't possibly predict this, but your soul is picking up on it. Your soul can feel these things ticking into place. Your intuition can tell that these things are colliding, and you want it so bad that it's become a burden for you. You're like waking up every day, checking your mailbox. Is it here yet? Is it here? Like, where are my blessings? You told me I was owed this. Where is it? And your guides are like, whoa, chill. This isn't your burden. Let us take this from you. Let us take the responsibility of this. Like, we can check the mail for you. We can keep up with the tracking numbers. It isn't your burden is what they're trying to tell you. Now, I want to get more advice. I want to use this deck. I didn't use this for group 1, so we'll see what comes out for you. Group 2, Spirit. What do they need to release? What do they need to release? We have the solar plexus chakra. Yes, it's reversed. I'm so sorry, but you don't need to do this. Solar plexus chakra is all about I can. It's about determination. It's about willpower. It's about physically doing things, feeling the motivation to do things. It's reversed because you don't need to do this. Group 2, you don't need to do this. You really don't. It's not your burden to bear. It's not your responsibility to make this happen. It's not your responsibility to pull all these divine sequences together. It's a massive responsibility, but it isn't yours. We have take the lead here. You need to release this. You don't need to take the lead. This is the 3 of Wands. This is about, I want to say patiently waiting. It's about patience. It's about standing on that cliff with your 3 wands and seeing. I mean, you already see with this moon, you're so intuitive. You can feel this happening. You can feel your investments being returned. You can feel this happening, but it's not about taking the lead here. It's about waiting, having patience, appreciating that this is all unfolding, yes, but it is happening in divine sequences with divine timing and divine guidance. It's something our human responsibilities are not meant for. We have seek. Group 2, this is the Hermit card. This is big energy. This is about finding that guidance, seeking those answers, seeking that clarity, really just grounding yourself, not isolating yourself, but seeking moments of solitude. If you do find yourself alone right now, instead of embracing the loneliness of the situation, use it as an opportunity to really harness the wisdom that you've gained in this period. For some of you, you feel like you've been isolated for too long. You feel like you have too much downtime. Some of you feel like you've been alone for too long. Use this as time to reflect on how far you've come. Twist it in a positive way. Appreciate that it could be a lot worse, but also understand that you've come a long way, Seek the answers from within here. I feel like some of you have put your guides in a very compromising situation and they really just want you to just chill and meditate and sit under a tree and not think about how frustrating the situation is, but more so just embrace the wisdom that you've gained in this experience. There's this indication that you have all the answers within you. What the thing that you're stressing about, the thing that you're worried about, you know all the answers. You just need to remind yourself. You need to ground yourself and give yourself the solitude to appreciate those with that wisdom. You are guiding yourself in this situation, group 2. You are incredibly intuitive. Now, the card that came out first was Blossom Reversed. This is Judgment again. Judgment reversed. You don't need to control this situation. While you have the truth, and while this is taking a while to happen, it doesn't mean that it isn't blossoming. Trust your intuition. I feel like it's so strong, and you're like, how? I don't understand. Like this was exactly what I was told, and it isn't happening. Why? It is happening, but it isn't for you to make happen, if that makes sense. You have a lot of major arcana here. The other card I got for you was the third eye chakra. The third eye chakra is incredibly intuitive. Your third eye sits between your brows, just above the bridge of your nose, not on your forehead, as we all like to say. It is about that deeper knowing. It is about that deeper understanding. Insane moon and high priestess energy. There is a lot of wisdom here. There is a lot of guidance, a lot of clarity that you already possess. You have all the answers you seek. It's about waiting it out now, which can be frustrating, but use this time to appreciate, because I feel like for you, it's either go, 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 or you're completely bored. So instead of feeling bored, appreciate the fact that you don't have to do everything right now, and use this as a time for positive solitude, for positive reflection, for gratitude. And just to really appreciate the fact that you're not the one that's having to do all the work here, you know? You know the truth, it is coming, but you don't have to do anything in terms of making this happen. I want to get one more card from this deck, and then I want to get initials and messages. Group 2 Spirit. What else can you offer in terms of what they need to release and advice? Oh my days. I'm going to have to pause the video to get that card because it literally flew across the whole room. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now, the card that flew was the card that we've already had before. So I'm seeing a lot of synchronicities here. We have the Hanged Man. Observe. Again, your biggest advice on how to release this is to gain information from another perspective. Understand this from another perspective. Know that your joy and stability is coming. However, it isn't quite ready yet. It isn't quite ready yet. There are so many facets here. There are so many cogs that need to tick over. And there's one major one. Honestly, what I'm picturing is that there's one big cog here, and there's lots of little ones here, and you're one of these little ones. And you're doing this thing where you're spinning so fast that the others can't keep up. And at the moment, what that's doing is it's creating a jarring effect on the bigger wheel. The bigger wheel is struggling to turn over because you're not in sync with the other synchronicities, if that makes sense. The other cogs are moving as they should be, and you're over here trying to burn through your cycle far too quickly. If you can observe this and appreciate this situation from that perspective, that there are many wheels here that need to be turned in their own timing, then it might help you appreciate the fact that you have no control over the situation. I'm sorry, Group 2, but the main thing you can control is your own happiness right here and right now, instigating moments of joy for yourself. Don't be too serious about this. You will be happy. It is coming to you. You know it is. But what you can do is create your joy right here and right now. You will have a happy ending. I just want to say that. It is coming. Now, I want to get initials because I have a lot of time for you guys. I'm not running over time like I was with Group 1. So these initials could reflect your initials. It could reflect the initials of somebody involved in this situation or somebody who is integral in the guidance of this situation. So take the initials as they resonate, but I will be getting messages for you as well from this box. So Group 2 Spirit, what do they need to release? Interesting energy. Interesting. All right. I'm going to put that over there, I think. Now, I actually want to start with these messages because I felt a lot of them. I want to do initials last. I'll put them over there. Now your first message is root chakra, group 2. Go back to basics. You're up here in the clouds with your third eye and your crown, and it's time to get back down to the roots with this hermit. To the roots, what matters? What can you be focusing on right now? You don't need to worry too much about the future. You don't need to worry about the behind the scenes action. How can you live your life to its fullest here, right now, today, tonight, in this very moment? With this root chakra, you need to spend more time grounding yourself. And for some of you, that could mean that you need to reconnect with nature, to physically go out, sit on the grass, or sit on the dirt, or sit on the stones, the rocks, anything that is somewhat natural. I would not recommend concrete, although it is a natural source. It can feel clinical and limiting and stunting. Anything natural, sit on it, embrace that energy from that natural source, that natural resource, and really ground yourself in your present. Really embrace what you are feeling, understand your emotions, and process them in a way that keeps you present. Are you happy? No. Why? How can you facilitate joy right here and not right now? What makes you happy? What instigates feelings of joy? Who instigates feelings of joy? How can you instigate that feeling for yourself right here, right now, with or without that person? Now we also have sleepless. Yeah, I was kind of picking up on that. I feel like your third eye has been keeping you awake. When your eyes close, your intuition just explodes and it wants to tell you everything. And that isn't a bad thing, but it is causing sleeplessness, restlessness in general. I want to say that meditation could help you, but another thing that's coming through is scripting. Get that out. Those messages are vital, but they are disrupting your sleep. They are disrupting your peace, your stability. So script them down, write them down, let them process, let them come out. They are there for a reason. That might be very helpful for you, group 2. We have trying. I feel like you are. You're out here trying. You're spinning. You're really wanting this to happen. You're really trying to make this happen for yourself. For some of you, this is a matter of love. You're trying to manifest a love situation. You're trying to call in your soulmate. You're trying to oh, we have inspired. You're trying to bring love into your life. Inspired, yes. And I was picking that up with the 3 of Wands. It kind of gave me Ace of Wands feelings. Now, the 3 of Wands can be frustrating because you want to be the leader. You want this to happen. You're feeling impatient. You're feeling frustrated. You can see your investment coming in. It's still moving, but it's very slow. Use that energy to create something, to again, I feel like writing or drawing, it's just getting these thoughts out of your head so that they don't keep you up at night, so that they don't disturb your peace, so that they don't distract you from your daily life. But this situation has inspired you. I feel like you've really come a long way, which is why we had that Hermit there. You need to appreciate yourself, group 2. You have come a long way. And yes, you're not quite at the finish line yet, but life is a journey. There's no finish line. You know, it's go, go, go until all of a sudden there's nothing. So that's a bit of a negative turn, but I just want to say that you're maybe giving yourself a lot of pressure to pull this off, and it isn't your cross to bear. We have choices here. So you do have a choice. With that 3 of Cups being your bottom deck energy, justice is coming. The scales are tipping. You will have balance. But in the meantime, your choice is you can continue taking this way too seriously, wearing that responsibility like a badge of honor, or you can choose to be happy instead. That is your choice. You can choose to create a moment of joy for yourself, a moment of inspiration, a moment of love for yourself. We have gratitude here, and I really feel like that is why the Hermit is here, so that you can ground yourself and recognize what you have to be grateful for. Not to say that you're not grateful enough. Listen, I'm not going to call you out like that, but it does seem that gratitude would be helpful for you because it can ground you in your present and it can keep you wanting more. Gratitude is brilliant because when you start the gratitude train, you seem to just propel yourself through it and you start to want to create more moments of gratitude. You start to want to go places so that you can be grateful for the fact that you are there. So gratitude is a great way to stay present. It's also a great way to continue to raise your vibration. Now we have sacral here, sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is about passion, creativity, inspiration. Some of you may be feeling a little bit as though you're blocked there, as though you're frustrated, as though you're uninspired. You're getting a headache about this situation, apparently. This situation is creating frustration. You do need to release that energy. You do need to release your sacral energy. The creativity is there for a reason. You're inspired for a reason. It's creating sleeplessness and a headache. You do need to let that energy out. And I feel like scripting would be useful for a lot of you, but I also feel like connecting with nature will help ground you. And gratitude is another great way to remain present because it forces you to look at what you have in front of you and to point out what you are grateful for right here, right now. Not tomorrow, not in the future. Right here, right now, what are you grateful for? Now, your last message is crown. And I was feeling like it's your crown chakra and your third eye chakra that is keeping you so far removed from your present situation. You're so intuitively aware. You're picking up on so much, group 2. Now, we have another message here. I know this one. It's the biggest one I have. I'm grateful for family. Easter Saturday, 11th of April. I'm grateful for family. So family, friends, people who feel like family, they're another great way to ground yourself, reconnect yourself with your roots, with the things and people who matter, to your values, to the things that you have to be grateful for. Family or people who feel like family can really help keep us not just humble. Humble was the first thing that came to my head, but it can help to keep us grounded in general. I think I've said that so many times. Anyway, your first initial is F. F for family, let's say. Your second initial is C. Now, we don't have a lot, so please don't feel like if your initial isn't here, then this message isn't for you. It might be significant, though, so I will show them. We have an O, and we have an E. All right, I'm going to just schmuddle those over there for now, and I want to get a few more messages of advice for you. It feels like love for a lot of you, but if that doesn't resonate, it's just this desire, like you want your wish fulfillment. Where is it? Why isn't it here? Why isn't it here? I actually want to get you a gem. Let's get you a gem. Group 2 spirit. What do they need to release, and what gem might be useful for them? What gem has more messages for them? Oh. They're showing me a lot of fiery gems, but wow, now we've got the whole deck. No, thank you. That's a bit excessive. I would just like, yeah, I was about to say 1 or 2. Wow, look at all these fiery ones. Look, I'm going to take them. Bottom deck energy is red cornelian. A lot of fire for you. Lots of fire. Interesting. This is linked to your sacral chakra. Yeah, your sacral chakra is very blocked, group 2. And I know that that's one thing to say, but this is your chakra of inspiration, of sexuality, of expression, of creativity. It's how you gain your passion. And then through our solar plexus, we're able to express it. We're able to move forward with it. But in this situation, you're not supposed to be taking this action. And so the frustration keeps building here in your sacral chakra, which is why it is helpful to release it through creative acts, through sometimes sexual acts help for us if that's a way of doing it. But I think that for you, scripting and being out in nature will really help. Now with this deck, each of these cards has little messages, which I love to read. I haven't memorized them yet, but I find that they can be very helpful. So I'm going to start with our amber, which is the number 21, and it seems to be, I'm terrible with symbols. It seems to be linked to Virgo, but I will confirm that. I'm terrible with astrological symbols. I guess I could start with red cornelian actually, which is technically our number 1. You have 3 fire gems, which are linked to your sacral chakra. Amber is linked to the sun. It is represented by the number 1 numerologically, And the message is, at this time, our life seems to be a battleground, and we do not wish to remain passive, but we want to act, to be protagonists and creators of our destiny. This is so for you, Group 2. The Cornelian Stone pushes us to use all of our audacity. This card also indicates that a new love is about to come into our life. We must open our heart and let go of any shadow of fear, which is why we had that moon reversed. You really got to process this. Allow yourself to appreciate how incredibly intuitive you are. You are amazing. You picked up on this. You knew this. You saw the truth and you were like, give it to me. But it isn't your responsibility to make this happen. You're so proactive. You're so ready for this, and it is coming to you. Release this creative energy in a healthy way. Now I'm going to jump forward to Amber now. Amber, number 21. Again, we have fire, and astrologically, this is Leo. Sorry to all my Leos that I didn't recognize your astrological sign. Again, this is sacral chakra. The message is right now, our sunny nature is at its maximum potential. We feel full of energy, and we have the strength to commit ourselves to large and difficult undertakings. This is not the moment to stand idle. It is best that we act, perhaps in a group where we manage to attain a leadership position naturally. Others trust us, and we do not delude them. All right, so another message I was getting with this card is that you are naturally quite cardinal figures. You seem to like to lead. You seem to like to take action. You seem to like to be the ones who move forward, who take that responsibility to blaze that trail. While you can't do that in this situation, it doesn't mean that you can't do that in other areas of your life, Group 2. You are natural born leaders. That is something that is coming through here, especially with all this fire. So harness that energy elsewhere. Use that energy in a positive way. Instigate initiative and change in the other areas of your life to release this creativity healthily. Now we have Jade next, which is a water sign. It seems to be linked to Venus, but I'll check that. Yes, astrologically linked to Venus, numerically 24. So the message is, following periods of stress or shock, both physical and psychic, because you are psychic, you're very intuitive, we must give ourselves time to recover. A period of rest has presented itself to us, though we must not take this as forced inactivity. Idleness is in fact a precious companion for rediscovery of ourselves. Immersed in silence, we can finally listen to the sounds of our soul. And I feel like that's what this is about, Group 2. It's not about forcing you to be patient. Maybe your lesson in life is to learn patience, but it's more about getting in tune with the wisdom that you've gained so far and appreciating that this isn't your cross to bear, this isn't your burden to bear. You know, this is out of your hands, and that doesn't mean that your whole life is out of control. No, it means that you can use this creativity to harness energy towards other areas of your life. You can be proactive in other areas of your life, but I really do feel like you should be embracing this period as a time to breathe out, to reconnect with yourself, with nature, with the people who matter to you, to really not let the situation continue to give you a headache. This keeps staring out at me. Headache, 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 sleeplessness, headache. I'm trying. Yes, you are. And we appreciate you for that. But some of this isn't your burden. Some of this isn't your responsibility. Now I'm going to jump forward to, how the hell do I say that? Another astrological sign linked to the sun, number 25. Okay, Dumortierite. I don't know. Anyway, the message for this beautiful, glorious stone that almost looks blue, quite gorgeous, this is a moment of great, oh my days, of great equilibrium, where you have the sensation of having complete control over your life. We were just talking about feeling out of control. Desires and needs are perfectly balanced. Likes and obligations are harmoniously collaborating. We move through life with courage and optimism, and others see us at a reference point as someone to use as an example. So you do seem to be natural leaders. You seem to be instigators. You seem to be people who other people look up to. And at times you don't like this position, but right now you just want to take the initiative. And there are areas of your life where you can do this. But this big thing, this big reckoning that you've been feeling, this situation that's been building intuitively in the background, that is out of your control, okay? The Spirit is indicating that the other areas of your life are really coming together, are really creating harmony. And I think that that's incredibly beautiful, and that you should be taking time to appreciate that you've done this, you know, that you can celebrate this, that you are successful. So group 2, I'm not going to over-explain this anymore. I think we should call it as it is and just appreciate that you are incredible beings, you know. Let's just take a moment to say, wow, you've made it. It's just a matter of waiting for your prize to be delivered in the mail. And you don't even need to keep checking the mailboxes. They'll deliver it straight to your door. When your angels have it ready for you, the whole world will know. You know, at this point, the whole world seems to be like, the whole of heaven is making this happen for you because of your determination. You deserve it. Congratulations. Group 2, I just want to say, you know, you're the experts in your life. Take what resonates. Don't let the rest take from you. And I hope to see you in another video. Bye, Group 2. Hi, Group 3, and welcome. If you chose this little tiny precious... Oh. Holy heck, I might have to like mute the audio when that happens. So just chuck it over there for now. Whew. Anyway, if you chose that tiny, precious, yet extremely aggressive beach stone, then this is going to be your reading. So Group 3, we're asking Spirit, what do you need to release? What is holding you back? What could be creating blockages in your success? I want to use tarot to get a bit of information about your situation, and then we'll be jumping straight into advice. So Group 3, Spirit, what do they need to release? And you do have a song in the description box, Group 3. I can't remember what your song is, but there may be additional messages in the lyrics. So feel free to have a look at that before, during, or after. Okay, what do you need to release? We've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers here coming through with big energy. 2 major arcanas, Group 2. You guys really are taking on a lot right now. You're wearing that badge. That was something that came through for Group 2 as well, but this is heavy. The Wheel of Fortune. You're taking on a lot right now with that Wheel of Fortune. It's like you're really trying to control the timing of this situation. And the Lovers here, it's a choice. You're trying to control the timing of somebody else's decision, perhaps, of a meeting. Group 3, Spirit, what do they need to release? We have the Star here reversed, and we also have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, all right, so timing is massive here. Timing. We start with the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about divine timing. And then we come over to our Lovers reversed, which is indicating a choice. It's indicating a union, a fork in the road. We come over to our Star reversed, which is indicating inspiration, guidance, hope, but it's reversed. So it's blocked. It's feeling limited. It feels like it's running out of time to happen. And our Knight of Swords is impulsive, is impatient, is completely action-orientated and wanting this to happen right here, right now. Now your bottom deck energy is the Magician reversed. There is a feeling of powerlessness here. You're starting to lose hope. You're starting to lose confidence. You're starting to feel as though you're running out of tricks. You're running out of time. You're running out of resources. There is an impatientness here. I'm not going to lie. It's really just like running out of time. And that's one of the songs that always comes up in one of these readings, but I don't think it was yours today. I can't remember what your song is, sorry, Group 3, but it is linked down below. What do they need to release? Can I clarify, please? We have the Son of Swords showing up for the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, that kind of makes sense. I want to get more cards, though. Can I clarify the Lovers, please? Why is the Lovers here? 10 of Wands, responsibility. You're taking on the responsibility of someone else's decision. It's like you're trying to tell them what to do. We have the 5 of Wands. You're trying to show them. You're trying to heal them. You're trying to say to them, this is what you need to do, but it isn't your decision to make. You have the Knight of Swords. Why is the Knight of Swords here? Why is the Knight of Swords here, Spirit? Why do we have this Knight of Swords? Okay, which of these cards do you want me to take? Thank you. 6. I want to say 6 of Wands, but the butterfly is making me think of the transformation death card as well. Now, I was a little bit worried there for a second because I realized that all your clarifying cards are grey, black and white, dark, gloomy, and then your last clarifying card has this gorgeous blue and green butterfly. So this situation feels very hopeless to you. You feel like you have to take on this whole thing as your responsibility. Like the success of this is riding on your shoulders. Now, the bottom deck energy here is the World. So this is about a cycle. You want it to end, but you need it to end in the way that you want it to, if that makes sense. It's almost hurting my head trying to figure this out. So I don't know how you've been doing this for so long. But group 3, the Magician, reversed with the World card. It has to end a certain way, otherwise you don't want it. It's something that's coming through. And unfortunately, that is what you need to release. It is going to end and a new cycle is going to begin, but you can't control how or when. And that's something that I've been saying throughout the whole thing. But for you, it's about releasing this expectation, releasing the need to create the time, to create the choice, to be this light for this person, to be the star, to be the one controlling the shots here with this Knight of Swords. The thing about the Knight of Swords is, yes, they're impulsive. Yes, they move quickly. They're impatient. They want to do it now. But the downfall to that is that it isn't a well-thought plan. The plan doesn't get executed to its full potential because of the impatience, because of the impulsiveness. There needs to be more planning done. There needs to be more time. And not to mention, there is freedom of expression involved here. There is a strong feeling that you are trying to control somebody else's choices, somebody else's timing, somebody else's journey, somebody else's healing. You can't do that, group 3. You can't control somebody else's healing. You can't control their choices. There is the freedom of choice. There is freedom of expression. It's our birthright as humans, and it's something that is guiding us to evolve, to be the best we can be, but we have to do that in our own way. This person has the choice, yes, and the choice could be between you or someone else, but it is imperative that they take responsibility for their choices. Otherwise, instead of creating a successful outcome like you want, you're going to create more distance between the two of you. Your person needs to make this choice for themselves. All right, so we start over here with the Wheel of Fortune. This is all about timing. You need to release the desire to control the timing here. The desire to control the sequence of events, I want to say. You have a very particular situation playing out in your head, and you need this to play out exactly like that. That is not how it's going to happen, unfortunately. The Page of Swords is here to say that you are inexperienced in terms of the knowledge of the situation. There is a lot that you don't know. There is a lot more happening than you are aware of. There's a feeling as though you're still trying to... It's like you're trying to do things above your mastery level. It's like a student attempting to be the lecturer in a college class, like a high school student trying to be a professor at a lecture for like a college level, graduate level. It just feels as though you're biting off a chunk way too big to chew. And this releasing might have something to do with communication. For some of you, you're trying to give a lot of communication, whereas you're not receiving a lot, or you're expecting something to come through and it isn't coming through. Something about communication here and timing. Communication and timing. Now we move over here to the Lovers. The Lovers always indicates choice. It is about love, yes. It is about expression. It's about harmony. It's about balance. It's about union, but it all comes from choice. And this choice is becoming such a burden. It's like you are just in the thick of it. Look at this card. You are literally in the thick of it. This Ten of Wands is so oppressive. It's so burdensome. How can you even see? You know, like there is so much here weighing you down. This isn't your choice. This isn't your karma. This isn't your responsibility, Group 3. Someone needs to make a choice here. But it feels like this burden, if this is your choice, you're in heavy denial. You know what you need to do and you're refusing to do it. And I need to tell you that it's just going to continue to get worse before it gets better. Because this 10 can only last for so long before it has to blow up. You know, this is the peak. This is the end of the cycle for a fire sign. This tension will keep building until it inevitably blows up and has to force an Ace of Wands. It has to force a new cycle. If this is your choice, you know what you need to do. You're just in denial at the moment. And what you need to release is this feeling as though the timing is out of your hands. In terms of your life, Group 3, I just get this feeling that you're not looking in the mirror. You're looking out at somebody else and their actions and what they should be doing and how they should be progressing this situation and what they could be doing better and what they need to do. And that's all good, but that's nothing that you can control. And that is everything that you need to release. What you need to be doing is looking in the mirror at how you can control your own timing here. How can you fix this situation for yourself? How can you gain more wisdom, more knowledge, more experience for yourself? What truth do you need to harness here? Because this Son of Swords, they may be inexperienced, they may lack knowledge and wisdom, but they do have the truth with this sword. They've got clarity of some sort. What decision do you need to make? Because you are incredibly blocked right now. You can't control another person's choices, actions, behaviors, decisions, but you can do that for yourself. What behavior do you need to do? What choice do you need to make in order to liberate yourself, in order to release these wands? You're losing hope here. And I feel that that stems from you trying to heal somebody else right now with this Star card. You're trying to be this guiding light for someone else. You're an incredibly unique person. And there are people in your life who could be taking advantage of that. You're trying to give the best parts of yourself to others. And they're not really appreciating that. It's not really what is meant for you, Group 3. It's not really what is serving your journey. It's not really how you should be living. You should be living this for yourself. You should be living your truth for yourself. You've lost hope for yourself here. And it really feels like you're giving this away. You're trying to guide someone. You're trying to mentor someone, heal someone. And it's just creating more problems. It's creating more conflict with this Five of Wands. It's creating more challenges, more obstacles. You have a difference of opinion with someone. It's like you can see this so clearly, what they need to do, how they can solve this. But every time you try to help them, it just leads to arguments. It just leads to more challenges, more obstacles, more distance. You cannot heal someone else. They have to want that for themselves. They have to see that for themselves. It's not your responsibility to guide them, Group 3. You should be guiding yourself out of this challenge. You should be settling this resolution for your own harmony, for your own stability. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with their arguments, with their behaviors, with their choices, but you do need to create harmony and stability for yourself, and it's time to start guiding yourself back towards hope. Now, this Knight of Swords, I was talking about the impatience. It's this action orientation. You just want to do this. You can see what needs to be done. Let me do it. I just need to do it. I need to do it. But it's being clarified by our Six of Swords. You really need to just move forward here. This is the Six of Wands, sorry. The Six of Wands. The Sixes in general reflect harmony and peace. This Six of Wands, it's almost like you're doing this for recognition. You're doing this because it gives you this sense of accomplishment. It makes you feel like the hero to help people. It makes you feel like you're needed. It's this feeling of balance, as though you give and you get. You like being appreciated. You like people recognizing you for your giving acts, for your heroic acts. And I think for the most part, it's something that's a part of your personality, this feeling of being needed. But in this case, it's not leading to long-term success with that Knight of Swords. Remember, I was saying the Knight of Swords, they get things done, but they spend very little time planning, which means that it's over before it's even begun. They kind of get in there and then they're out because they didn't make long-term plans. It's like your energy is so fixed on crisis and putting out fires in other people's lives that you haven't been putting in energy to your long-term plans, to your long-term happiness, to your long-term success. Yes, you get temporary compliments. Yes, people in the moment say, oh my gosh, thank you so much, I'm so grateful for you. But tomorrow, they're not there. When you need them, they're not there. When you're struggling, they're not there. You still want more. And so you find yourself back in these crisis situations. Group 3, I want to get some advice for you, because I don't want to just keep going down this road of pointing out everything that's wrong. So let's get some advice here. What do they need to release, and what could be helpful for them in terms of how can they release it? Spirit, I want advice for them. Oh, sweethearts, this is a love situation. For many of you, we got the Lovers again in this deck. We have the Lovers twice. Decisions, choices, self-love, unity. This feeling as though you've met your counterpart and yet you're just not on the same page. You need to release this choice. Focus on love. What do you love? What in your heart is calling you? Does that make sense? No, I can probably rephrase that better. What is calling you? How can I say this? What is your heart calling you towards? Yes, that's a better way. Oh, group 3, love. I just asked, what do you need to release? What will be helpful for you? And love comes out. The Lovers, this feeling of choice. Liberate yourself with your love. Don't let it chain you. It's been taking so much from you. You have big hearts, but there are ways that you can be giving in an equal way. This balance. You can't make choices for other people. But, if we know that we can't make everyone happy, what can we do to at least make ourselves happy? If we know we can't make everyone happy, how can we at least make ourselves happy? Group 3, Spirit. What do they need to release? And what would be helpful for them to see? Sacral chakra. Interesting. Sacral chakra has been coming up a lot lately. So it's this feeling of passion, creativity, impulse, desire. Ooh, very sexual for you guys. It wasn't like that for the other groups. But there's frustration there, because the sacral chakra is a wonderful tool and resource in order to gain inspiration and passion and harness creativity, but it can become incredibly frustrating when you don't have a positive way to release it, when you don't have an outlet, when your desires cannot be expressed, when your passion can't be expressed. It can become incredibly frustrating, and that is where I feel that you're at. Your sacral chakra is here because, as advice, you are very passionate people. Express your passions creatively. Find ways to release that. Find ways to really express yourselves authentically. Some of you guys are incredibly sexual, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that. That is another way to release your passion, to release your energy, to release your creativity. But for most of you, it's about finding your medium here. Some of you may be writers. Other people may be drawers or painters or songwriters, musicians. Finding your medium to express your self-creativity. What does group 3 need to release, and how? We have teach, wisdom, the Hierophant. This feeling as though you control the system, group 3. You still have a lot to learn. You haven't become the master yet. Now is the time to gain wisdom. Now is the time to seek further advice, to gain information, to really plan this out. It's challenging, but only because you don't have all the information you need. You need to gain more information. Allow yourself to still be the pupil in this situation. You're trying to teach people when you're still learning yourself. And sometimes that's helpful, but in this case, I feel like you've bitten off a lot more than you can manage right now. Group 3 spirit, what do they need to hear in terms of what do they need to release and helpful advice? I just want to get one more card from this deck and then I'll switch decks. Ha ha ha, I knew this was going to come out. The Fool. Let go. The Fool is all about releasing, Group 3. It's about releasing baggage, releasing your fears, releasing your doubts, releasing your responsibilities. This whole card is about releasing. It's about trusting instead, trusting that the universe has your back, trusting that your guides want you to be successful, that this is happening for you, not to you. Trusting that you are being primed for the best case scenario. It is going to work out. It will. You will have a creative, passionate, expressive moment with that sacral chakra. Your bottom deck energy is choose your battles. Invest your energy where it serves you. Some people, some things are just taking. Without a thank you, without a full thank you, should I say, because you seem to give to people for the gratitude. You need that gratification, but you're not actually helping yourself in the long term. Choose your battles. Where can you be investing your energy in a way that it pays off long term as an investment? I want to work your light cards. Group 3 spirit. What's some advice for Group 3? What do they need to release and how? Oh, okay. Lemuria. Anyway, it says creating heaven on earth. It's happening. I love the colors in this deck. There's something really peaceful about them. But this is again reminding you with that Wheel of Fortune, it is happening. You don't need to be in control here. But I feel... See, we shouldn't discredit this card. It is big energy. It is massive energy. There's this feeling as though your soul has a very specific purpose. And you are gaining the wisdom you need to align yourself to that path. I really want to read. There's something in the book that you need to see. I don't do this often. I really don't. But there's something in the book that you need to see for this card. Lemuria. I don't even know which. I am terrible. Lemuria, where are you? They're not sort of numbered, so I apologize, Group 3. I might be flicking through a little bit. Lemuria. Oh gosh. Here we go. Lemuria is one of Earth's lost lands, where heaven really was a place on Earth, a time before we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. In Lemuria, life worked in harmony, all beings were seen as equal, and we were deeply reverent to Mother Earth. We knew that a mosquito was no worse than us, and the sun no better. Perhaps you too believe that heaven really can be a place on Earth. Perhaps you're part of the transition team who at soul level are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on the planet now. Thank you for wanting to do this work. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet right now, but you are being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future. It is closer than you think. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lemuria in your own community, family, workplace, or within yourself. Know that it is possible, and while at times it may feel like you are alone, you truly are not. There are hundreds of thousands who hold the codes of this ancient lost land, and even Lemuria crystals that hold the codes of remembering that are beginning to rise all over the planet. Keep doing what you are doing, and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to first heal ourselves. Wow. I believe that. I believe that 100%. That is you, Group 3. And sadly, in the past, this has been taken as a sign of weakness because you are so ready to heal people. You are so ready to help people. And you feed off that energy, not in a bad way. It never felt bad with the Six of Wands. It just felt as though it was misdirected. The energy could be invested elsewhere. And you know, the card beneath that was the Star card again, reversed. Heal and release is under that, and nurture is under that. I mean, there's so many synchronicities in this reading. You are powerful, but you've lacked the confidence to close this cycle. You've lacked the confidence to move to the next stage. I just want you to know that you're aligning with your true path in the sense that yes, you should be focusing on your own healing, but there is a reason why you're so good at helping others. There is a reason why people always come to you for support. You are a part of the Lightworker team. You are here to create heaven on earth in your community. And people are drawn to you because they feel that energy within you. They feel that comfort. They feel that security. They feel that happiness. They feel that healing energy that you offer. But when you aren't ready for it, it can be very taxing. It can be something that just takes and takes and takes from you rather than giving. This is a powerful card. I knew it was. I just haven't read the book about it. I always read it intuitively. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. But it's about choosing where to put your energy right now, because there is a way that you can do it to be more beneficial. For example, there are jobs you can do so that you are protected by policies and procedures to ensure that you aren't giving too much, to ensure that you are maintaining healthy boundaries, to make a living out of it, to sustain your family, to sustain yourself. It's not to say that you're capitalizing off other people's misfortunes, but you know that you are talented at giving, at healing, and you are able to do it in a way that you are protected by other people's policies and procedures, and the idea that you are going to have both professional and naturally personal boundaries in that setting. So I do feel like you need to be looking more long-term with your gifts. You are healers. There is healing that you could be doing for yourself right now as well, but there's also this feeling as though, you know, there are other ways to do this healing work. There are other ways to harness this healing work. Can I get any more advice for group 3? Sorry, I was looking at the 2 and 5 here. We have mirror. Who or what is triggering you? And I did feel like you guys were looking outwards when you should be looking at the mirror here. This situation is happening for you, not to you. But how and why are you being triggered? Why is this so hard to do? Why is this so painful for you? Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Absolutely. There are better ways to do this. You can help people. You are meant to help people. But there are ways to do it so that you are protected. Bottom deck energy is Starseed. What lights you up? You are here for a reason, group 3. You are incredibly vital to this earth. And when the collective energy becomes really low and heavy, you do pick up on that. It is very taxing for you. There is more experience here. With that Page of Swords, it might be helpful for you to gain qualifications in community services or social work so that you can become educated in that formal way, and you'll find that a lot of your values seem to align with the policies and procedures of the companies that you could work for. I'm just saying there are ways that you can do this work and be protected as well. It could gain you, it could be your calling in terms of your career path here with financial health. If you are in this job already, it's just feeling as though it's taking too much. You might be close to a burnout, or you might be feeling overwhelmed by your work right now. It's this feeling as though you might be switching career paths. You might be switching this up. You need to free yourself from this feeling somehow. You need to allow yourself to look at the bigger picture here. Are you happy? No. Why aren't you happy? How can you be creating more happiness, more freedom for you? Why do you feel caged? Why do you feel as though you're not doing your best right now? I feel like this could lead to a lot of financial success if you're not already in this field or this sector. Lighten your load, absolutely. Your boundaries here with the 10 of Wands, you're taking on too much. You're taking on far too much, Group 3. Far too much. I just want to get one more card for you. Group 3, what do they need to release and what is their advice? Trust. Trust that you are talented. You have these abilities for a reason. Trust that you have these abilities for a reason. Work with them, not against them. They could be your greatest strength, but in the past they've been your weakness. I just want to call it there, Group 3, because I don't want to over-explain this. I really, really feel like you are calling in your soul's purpose. And this feeling of love, I know we steered from that halfway through, but this love business, this choice business, you can't heal other people, but you can help other people heal. You can get paid to help other people in their journeys. But for you, you need to want this for yourself. It's about looking in the mirror and figuring out how you can help yourself in this situation. I feel as though you've been outwardly projecting, like looking at other people's actions, choices, behaviors, or lack thereof, and really just trying to do these things for them. But I feel as though this is a pivotal moment for you, Group 3, to really change up your future. What lights you up? That keeps pulling me in. What lights you up? Choose your battles. You are at a precipice here. You know, you're hitting the end of a cycle and you could create something incredibly magnetically powerful here for yourself. Bottom deck energy is truth. That is the truth. I just feel like you know all of this already, Group 3. I haven't said anything new. You've thought about this before, but perhaps it was just helpful for you to see it again. Well, Group 3, that's where I'm calling your reading. It is a general reading as well. I do feel like we might get a lot of views on this one. So as always, you're the expert in your life. Take what resonates. Don't let the rest take from you. Oh, getting very tongue-tied. Look after yourselves, Group 3, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!